Okay, this is Kenny Heath, and I'm here with Coach David Haynes for the L4 Media Coach Haynes' Show, brought to you by the Whitney Wildcat Athletic Booster Club. The Whitney Wildcat Athletic Booster Club is helping WISD turn today's athletes into tomorrow's leaders. If you want to help out, go to Facebook, search for the Booster Club, hit that like button and follow. Send them a message and let them know you want to help. Well, Coach, you did it. We talked about the scenarios and what had to happen for the Wildcats to still be alive come Week 11, and it all came down to Grandview beating West in overtime, and frankly, you and your boys going to Groesbeck and putting a smack down on the Goats. It had to feel good after that one.
Yes, I mean, 3-game losing streak, and like I said, we haven't had that since I've been here. And so, like I said, man, it just kind of nerve-wracking until you get into the game and then you start taking control of the game. So, like I said, I'm proud of our kids. I kept telling them we just needed one to get it going. So, like I said, excited for this week.
Coach, before we start talking about the game and how it went down, I was in the stands. I was in Groesbeck, got there a little bit late. Had the Grandview West game on my phone, goes to overtime. I see the score, and I really wanted to stand up and go, "Hey, Coach Haynes, Grandview just lost." So when did you find out? Did somebody come and tell you on the sidelines, or were you kind of somebody keeping tabs up in the box? Or how'd that happen?
So we looked at halftime and saw what the score was, and it was 14-14. And like I say, we're doing pretty good. We haven't won the game yet, but we're doing pretty good. Feeling good about the game plan going into the second half. And then once we kind of got up a little more, I told the guys in the press box, "Hey, start checking that Grandview score." And I guess about middle of the third quarter, they came down. And they didn't come down, but they relayed the information down to me that Grandview had won in overtime. And so that kind of took some pressure off of us. So it was a good night.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, so let's talk about the Groesbeck game. You go over there, play Friday night in Groesbeck. Really cool stadium. It's kind of back when they built that place, it was really state-of-the-art, kind of unheard of for a 3A or 2A school back then to have a really neat bowl-style stadium. It's down in the ground. I really like the way the home stands are built into the school. It's a neat place to play. The acoustics are really good. When there's not a whole lot of people here, you can hear people on the other side of the field talking. So one thing, let's talk about your offense. You rolled up 74 points on the Goats. One thing that I really liked is, you kind of, we talked about it last week and the week before, kind of all hands on deck. So you brought some dudes over from the defense that really hadn't played offense a whole lot. We knew they could. To come in, like Lessman and a Hagen Landrum, and really did well. I thought Mason played well. What was your thoughts on the offensive side of the ball?
Man, in the last 2 weeks, man, we've gotten a whole lot better. I mean, we had 520-some yards of offense, ran the ball for close to 300 yards. So, like I said, I'm really, really proud of our kid. Our offensive line, they continue to get better. Mason's playing well. The receivers, man, they're doing a really, really good job of catching the ball and getting vertical. And we lost, of course, a big playmaker in Tay. But Delvion and Angel, man, they can tote it. I think they're starters at other schools at running back. So we got some dudes left. We just got to continue to keep it rolling.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go next with Angel and Delvion. And I agree with you 100%. Those guys can go start at running back for the majority of the schools in the state. You got Angel going early in the game, and then Delvion kind of comes in, and I think they both rushed for almost over 100 yards. I think Angel was just shy. That really, I like that 1-2 punch with those guys. You can kind of keep them fresh. I know Angel played offense earlier in the year, and he did get a little bit of time, or defense earlier in the year, and he did get a little time on offense at some spots. Is it just kind of it took you, I know early in the year last year he fumbled a few times. Was it just kind of a trust and experience issue with Angel to get him, you kind of work him in and get more carries?
No, I wouldn't say more of a trust deal. I don't know. It's just like who has the hot hand.
Okay.
And then I said, when you got two backs and it looks like they run the same, but they run so different. And we found out, I can't let our secret out, but we found out something about Delvion that I think is going to be very beneficial for us. And so, like I said, just watching them two run the ball has been really good.
Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. And if you look at it, it's hard to gauge a defensive performance when your team scores 74 because they're probably more lax. You're probably not as aggressive on defense as you would be if it was a closer game. But the one thing I think the defensive side of the ball benefited on this, if you do make the playoffs and you do go forward, is Groesbeck has a really good quarterback. And they got some good wide receivers. So you got to go against some top-notch talent. And, the Platt kid, I think I think he started a little bit as a freshman. He's a senior now. He's been there. He's got a really good arm. He can sling the ball all over the field. Do you think that helped you look at the 41 points given up, not ideal, but it was a different type of game in my opinion. So you think that kind of helped your defense getting experience? They may see those type of players in the playoffs if we do go that far.
Oh, definitely. That kid for Groesbeck Platt to me, he's a generational talent, man. He is so skilled. Like, he can run. You look at his statue, and you see that he is not very big, but how he runs hard, and he can sling the rock. And like I said, he had me nervous all week. And so just for us to contain him, it took us a little bit to get it going. But once we started containing him, I feel that we can stop anybody.
All right, Coach. Well, we're recording this show Wednesday about 2:30, and just came down that the varsity game against West, which is at home in Whitney, got moved to Thursday night at 7 p.m. because of weather. Kind of taking our chances that it's going to rain Thursday night, but it's going to be kind of a light rain, and then there's a chance for thunderstorms Friday. How did you and Coach Woodard just get together and say, hey, let's just move this, or did he approach you? How'd that come about?
No, it was just kind of a mutual talking, and that's one of the good things about this district is us coaches, man. I know we're competitive and we'll get after it on Thursday and Friday nights, but we're also pretty good friends. We're around each other a lot, and so, like I said, so we talk and text. And so I shot him a text and like, hey, man, what do you think about this weather? Have y'all thought about changing the game? And he was like, yes, we've talked about it. Then I called him, and then we just kind of got the ball rolling. And, that's pretty much how it went.
All right, so like we talked, we needed Grandview to beat West, which they did. We needed to beat Groesbeck, what they did. Now it sets up basically a winner-take-all. West is coming to Whitney Thursday night at 7 o'clock. This rivalry is pretty good one. Not a whole lot of two-score wins. It's been, even when Whitney was kind of down, they still played them well. Last year, we beat them pretty handedly. The year before that, they kind of beat us by, 2 or 3 scores. It was a competitive game. Man, I don't think you have to get your kids hyped up to play this game because it's West, but now it's got, the most important implications of all, and that's getting to the playoffs. How do you approach this week if you're Coach David Haynes and the Wildcats?
This is a game where if I have to motivate you, you should not be playing football. That's what it is. And we talk a lot about, in our program, we talk a lot about being great husbands and being great fathers. And one of the things as a husband and father is, man, you're going to run into points in your life where, like the ball's in your hand, where as far as you got to make the decision, you got to get up and go to work, like just stuff like that. And that's what this game is. It's in our court. We're in full control of what we need to do. So you can go out there and win the game, and it's on you. You can go out there and lose the game, and it's on you. But just for it to be in our control is, to me, a blessing.
So, Coach, looking at West, they're basically like they are every year, and it's a good thing. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to stop the run. And I think the MO has been, hey, if you can stop the run against West and you can sling the ball around a little bit, you've got a chance. Groesbeck a couple of weeks ago scored 28 points on them. That's the most they've allowed. I think Robinson had 23 or 26, something like that. They don't give up a whole lot of points. A Mahia team that scores a lot of points, they held them to 6. Maypearl, Grandview, it was 17-13 final score. So Coach Woodard, Coach Souders, they're going to have a good defense over there. This is your fourth time to play them, I believe, or is this number 3?
This is my third time. Third time.
Third time to play them, so you know these guys.
Yes, sir.
Man, the game plan on offense, are you just going to – do you go back and look – well, let's talk about defense. So there's been some teams that have held them to relatively, May-Pro. So do you go back and just study that film all the way through and just try to figure out, or do you go back to a couple years ago when y'all held them to – last year held them to 6 points? What are you thinking on defense?
Defensively, we got to, of course, tackle. We know that they're going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to pound the ball. That's what West does. And so we just got to, make sure that we line up correctly and tackle. Line up correctly and tackle. And don't give up the big play. Like I said, if you look back at the Groesbeck game, that's what we gave. We gave up big plays, and we got to eliminate big plays.
And offense side of the ball, we talked about it. Y'all ran the ball really well. You threw the ball, rolled up over 500 yards. Kind of the same MO. I know the weather's going to be kind of changing. How does that factor into your game plan?
We're going to do what we do. And like I said, everybody knows that we're going to try to go fast. And that's just what we do. And our kids like it. Our kids know it. And when it's called slow, they're asking us, why are we going slow? And so, like I said, we'll have a good game plan, and everybody will be involved. That's what I love about it. It's not a one-man show. Like, everybody gets involved.
Absolutely.
And we'll keep it moving.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. I hope y'all I hope we win, and I hope everybody gets out there healthy. I hope West gets back to West safely, and we want to thank you, thank L4 Media, thank Whitney Wildcat Athletic Booster Club, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, and go Wildcats.